Hey everybody, it's Maniac. Very happy to have you here in this video in collaboration with SkinClub, of course. If you don't know me, as I said, my name is Maniac. I used to be a professional player for many years, and now I have been an analyst, broadcast talent for about 6 years. That's who I am. In this video, I decided to have a precise look at Maniac's performance in the first map of the Esports World Cup Grand Final. It's a game that has created a lot of debate. A lot of people have talked about whether Maniac is on a bit of a downfall or the mistakes he's made throughout that game. By his standards, this wasn't a map or a grand final that we are used to see from Maniac. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to actually deep dive on this first map. We're going to watch the POV together, and we're going to try to figure out what was a lack of luck, what were his mistakes, what did he do well, right? It's not just about criticizing. I'm going to try to have like a full picture of how this first map went down for Maniac and take you guys with me on this little bit of a journey. Let's see. Let's try and figure out, did Maniac fail this grand final? Was he unlucky? Could he have done much better? Were there external circumstances? We're going to try to figure that out step by step. We're going to watch the most important rounds, bypass a couple that don't really matter too much, and try and see what kind of conclusion we come at the end of this. Pistol round. So here G2 is basically just building like an A split, like a delayed A split, making sure that nobody's pushing the middle. And here we go. We activate. Maniac is used as an entry fragger, as you can see. At least he's the first line of fight. That was a lazy clear on the right side, but it works out here. Very important jumps. See how his white swing in? Wow, that's pretty clean. At this point in time, the pistol round is already won. I liked how he jumped the first angle. We can have a look again if you want to see what I'm talking about here. When he decides to actually go for it, there we go. You'll see that he actually jumps an angle that could have been dangerous, and then he just activates. Like right now, a little bit of a jump here, and then white swing to make sure he doesn't get immediately wrecked by the USP. Steamrolls. That's very good entry padding for a Glock. Now, I mean, Na'Vi is obviously attempting to retake. It's a pistol round. It makes sense, but I think they're pretty much cooked. Great shooting. Great adjustment of the crosshair. And why not go for more? There we go. Beautiful pistol round for Maniac. So Maniac is smoking window, providing a couple of good flashes for his teammates. We see Hunter finds a kill on that one. And he's just quickly holding the A side. And you can already see here the call from Snacks is clear. It's going to be a redirect towards B. Maniac left his position on A. They gather up. Opening the smoke, and he leads the charge again. That's really good cross placement. Good spray control as well. These two kills pretty much guaranteed the round. I think this round is about to get a little complicated. This, I consider this to be a slight mistake from Maniac, right? And he hasn't made too many in this game, but this one, we can have a look at it again. When he gets Molotov right now, he's obviously out of position. You can see this right here is being Molotov, so he has to leave his position. That's grand, I understand that. But I don't know if he needed to commit as far as going here against that wall, because then he opens up this angle, which you can see he's a little bit uncomfortable dealing with. So he gets caught off guard. Could he have stayed in a safer position while the molly was going on? Arguably. Arguably, he could have stayed alive. And second buy round. Cave smoke from Maniac. And I think he's going to... Okay, that's a... Yeah, he's basically an anti-push position with the AWP. He's got a rifle to his left, looking alongside, and then he was just checking that nobody was actually to the full left. And now he's just scanning. I really like how he's decomposing like angles, just being very controlled and decided, or decisive about where he's aiming at. A lot of no zoom as well. Muddy behind side. Oh, he decides against, probably on the call of Hunter. Hunter that says, no, there's nobody else. There's nobody here. You don't need to molly. And then he holds CT spawn. And that's a very strong angle to have. That's just very unlucky. Had he not moved, had he decided to stay a second more, he would have found Wonderful immediately. And Wonderful finds 2 kills off of that. So this is really unfortunate. We can have a look at it again. Now he takes this position, and that's a very strong angle to hold, and it's very, very easy to punish someone from CT spawn who doesn't realize how much danger they're in. And now he decides to move. He unscopes the second Wonderful walks in. We can immediately just describe that as an unlucky timing. I don't believe there's much more to it. And it's even worse because Wonderful finds 2 kills after that. So now that leaves G2 in a 2v4. Probably on call of low HP. By the way, what the hell is that Molotov's rebound? He knows Wonderful is here. He knows he's low. Look at the Molotov. Look at what he does. And he's just like, down. It bounces back on the little ledge. And it burns Wonderful, who again. Oh, that's a miss. I was going to say silent scope. No, that's a miss. But the molly finishes Wonderful. Monacy stays alive here for some godforsaken reason. 2 HP. LXB could have killed him a million times. And then you can see he's seeing the shadows a couple times. So he's just holding. And I know that G2 is going to freeze a lot in this round. Finally, he gets rewarded. It's a good knowledge of where the next threat is about to be. Traded immediately by Snacks. That's 2v4, by the way. 2v4 Snacks from Monacy. Very strong round from them. Very strong finish. Rifle Monacy now. Smoke cave. Fast A play. A little bit of a team flash, but that's okay. And here I really like what Monacy is doing. The elevation he's taking is guaranteeing that he's not going to be in immediate crosshair of his teammates, or of his opponents rather. This is an excellent kill on him, but we can have a look at it again. He knows that the donut fight is what's most probable to happen. So what he does, he elevates his position so he's not in a very easy angle to clear. And you can see how Ime is a little bit caught off guard by his position. That's an easy kill. Not even a headshot needed. It was pretty efficient from Monacy. Information gathered. Wonderful is traded. Well, rather, JL is traded, sorry. I think that's it. Wonderful has to save, right? Well, there's a good padding from Monacy. A good movement as well. Really like the elevation he took. 7-1 low buy from Navi with an AWP. So what are we doing? We're sending Monacy out. Gets completely flashed by Navi and dies. Well, there is always something to be figured out. Here. That flash here. If I can actually turn. That's the flash that wrecks Monacy. This flash in the smoke. This is really uncomfortable to aim. There's a flash in the smoke of the stairs stepped, and that's why Monacy is getting absolutely wrecked. Okay, that's Bit's flash in the smoke. Fair enough. Not much to say about that. Monacy is being sent as an entry fragger. He's got a couple of flashes helping him out from his teammates, but he himself gets absolutely obliterated by a clever flash in the smoke from Bit. Yeah. Unlucky. Unluku, I guess that's what we say, right? And here comes a B hit. Ooh. Was that a team flash again? Or is Navi equipped with the best anti-flashes in the goddamn business? Let's take this angle and let's see what our dear Monacy is dealing with. He's going to be leading up the charge ramp. Here he goes. Oh, that's a team flash. I think that's a team flash. I believe it is a team flash, ladies and gentlemen. Completely blind. Peace. Nothing he can do. He's being thrown. Well, it works out for G2, so it's not that big a deal. But in terms of Monacy, poor guy just got completely wrecked. So all in all, this first half was pretty solid. You have one gross fail, like one sitter that's missed. You have an unlucky timing on Wonderful picking from CT spawn, where Monacy actually had the right idea. You have one perfect counter flash from Bit. You have an AWP punishing him in a flash peek, which not sure he could have seen coming. And you have this team flash from his teammates. So it's not, the first half is not nearly as bad as one would make it out to be. Here we go. B hit from Navi. Monacy very thorough. Okay, little alibi check on the right side, but still thorough towards window. He knows he's got a teammate handling that. He's got a good crosshair placement. His crosshair is mostly on head level. Here he gets caught as he's about to trade for Wonderful. Bit swings from the bomb site. Again, very hard to fault Monacy in that situation because that moment he's set to trade Hunter. And Hunter is going to be in a fight. We see Wonderful is right there. Hunter is going to be in a fight. Wonderful is going to find Hunter. And so m0NESY is definitely in his movement towards a trade. That's what he's attempting to do. You can see here, that's the death. And even though I put it in 25 or 0.25% speed, so now you might think, oh, but why is he not reacting to bit to the left? This is 0.25 speed. Now he's all set to go and try and enter the cave to trade. That's exactly what you're seeing here. You see that movement. He adjusts the crosshair to the right. He's ready to swing on Wonderful. That's the moment Bit actually peeks from sight. He tries to correct. He can fire off one shot, but that's too late. 3 lean towards B. m0NESY on the AWP. It's kind of a dangerous position he put himself in because a lot of spray is usually angled at that. You see Navi misses a Molotov. But this is actually sick. This entry from JL is sick. I swear to God. And this is such an interesting situation too. And this one we're gonna take the time to talk about it, right? This is such an interesting situation because my take, okay, we're gonna watch it in slow motion, but my understanding of what happened right here is that m0NESY was not expecting for someone, a rifle specifically, to jiggle peek into a shoulder peek into a duel. What m0NESY was expecting mostly was a swing from left to right to go hide in the corner, or a wider swing in order to take a fight. But you can very much see where his crosshair is. His crosshair is smack in the middle. He's not looking at a shoulder peek quite yet. Even more so now, the crosshair now is really more on the left hand side of this space that you're looking at. So this is telling. It's telling that m0NESY is looking for a wide swing or a faster movement. And that's what he's expecting. He's expecting. And now he sees a shoulder. But he's a little too slow to adjust. He fires one bullet and it gets absolutely wrecked. I want to see where the bullet goes, though. Ah, yes. That's exactly what happened. Because m0NESY was a little too slow, JL fired off a shot. And that threw m0NESY's crosshair in the sky, aim punch. And then the bullet is missed. And that is because JL is faster. JL is faster on that peak. Which is a strange statement. Like, I don't think I would be ever saying that someone or a rifle was better than or faster than m0NESY holding an angle. This is going to be another page in the book of lamentations of m0NESY, in the long string of unfortunate situations and almost impossible situations he found himself in. Oh my God, I remember this round. This was so picture perfect from Navi. All right, let's have a look. I'm teasing right now, but it's coming. So now, pay attention to the util from Navi, right? JL smokes the entrance of Domit. He'll found from Mime, that's information on Hunter. m0NESY is very aware that m0NESY is aware that at least 2 people are mid. He can play behind the smoke, that's okay. He's even playing like a very small angle, so he isn't really putting himself in too much danger. He's not like, it's not like he's holding the entire smoke and then he could be at risk of someone blowing the smoke open with a grenade. Like, he's really trying to play like a small, tight, conservative angle. And he's holding, and now please observe this beautiful flash that's coming from JL. This is insane. Navi cross. That flash is perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect for m0NESY's position. What the hell was he supposed to do against that flash? He's completely blind. The most blind you could possibly be in the game. He's getting sandwiched. And now he's barely recovering sight and he falls to LXCB. Oh my God. I'm going to show it to you in live so you can appreciate what kind of situation this was. Look at this. In live speed. Here comes the flash. I am blind. I am dead. This was stellar from Navi. I refuse to... I even made the comment that m0NESY was holding an angle that was so tight and close that he was optimizing, or he was limiting, reducing, minimizing the amount of risks that he was opening himself up to because he had that really tight angle, and then still Navi find the perfect pop flash to destroy him. When Snacks affirms that he's got the space saved, then Monacy rotates away. And he comes to reinforce the B side because you have... This rotation makes sense because you have this duo towards middle that's clearing all that's happening here. So that's no doubt. You have Snacks that has A main control pretty firmly. So the only place you could really go and reinforce would be Nico's position. And now you're about to see Monacy get absolutely wrecked. Strap yourselves in. Perfect angle. Perfect angle because Navi is about to do like a walking contact play on B. So far so good. Nothing to say against it. Monacy is holding. Absolutely wrecked. By bit. Absolutely wrecked. But there is way more than meets the eye. There is way more than meets the eye, and we're going to look at this death a couple times, and we're going to talk about it. I watched this demo a couple times already, and I've discussed the demos a couple times already, even with some people. And what someone made me realize, which is actually kind of insane, is that Monacy, at this very precise moment when he's holding that angle, I'm going to play it slow, and I want you to focus on the little gap here that you're seeing, right? Focus your attention on this little gap. When Bit comes up the ramp, Monacy is still holding. And now, exactly now, he sees, he sees something happen. And Counter-Strike is so good. Counter-Strike is the best game in the world. That's why. Monacy sees, or I cannot even really tell you if this was like a conscious processing of the information. It feels too quick to be conscious. It feels more like a reflex, like a reptilian back of the brain, amygdala type reflex, where Monacy sees this little sliver of color go through the gap, and his mind is telling him, watch out, someone is about to peek you up close. Monacy believes at that very moment, and believe is maybe not the right term, but Monacy's brain assesses that the threat is going to be up close contact on the ramp. And at the very, very, very millisecond Monacy decides to be ready for that is when Bit picks, and it looks silly, but it's very understandable. You can see how he had already made the readjustment. He was looking up. He saw then the model of Bit coming out of the ramp. And then he's like, oh shit. Immediate correction. He is on target, but it's the same scenario as the jail entry frag. He's on target, but too late. And he doesn't even have time to fire a shot. This is such a fascinating death for Monacy. And I'm not even sure if I want to say it's his fault. Like, I understand what happened. But the truth remains the same. The truth remains the same. You're looking at Monacy now on the CT side, who twice in very important gun rounds with an AWP was the victim of an entry fragger with an AK. And that's kind of a crazy statement to make. What? You're gonna tell me Monacy is an entry death? AK to AWP? Twice now? That's a bit funky. And I can fault him on the jail one. I don't think I can fault him on the Bit one, because I can definitely understand the reaction and what happened in like a few milliseconds, like a few hundred milliseconds, which is the time that, the information is kind of processed on a subconscious level, and then on a conscious level, it takes a little bit longer, of course. But I can understand where this is coming from. I can. The fact remains unchanged. Monacy has been entryed twice by rifles when he had an AWP, and that's really not usual. M4 gunplay again, duo with Snacks again on A. Same kind of setup. You can see he's got a different angle now because he doesn't have the AWP, so he's not looking for like a straight fight, which he believes he could win. No, he's looking for like an off angle where his M4 could prevail. He's got Snacks on his right hand side. They've done that already in this game. Same situation, rotates away towards the B side. Snacks find image, so that's extremely good for G2. I don't even think he needed to hold that angle so deep, but the smoke comes in, makes him safe. Sorry, I went a little bit too fast. My bad. He goes then mid to help out Malbs. Malbs finds information. That's an entry, easy kill from Monacy. Good cross replacement here as well. Clean. Very good round from Monacy. Synergizing with Malbs pretty well. Utilizing the attention that Malbs was taking. Peeks towards window. With the silencer. Not much to say, just GG. Ah. Now. Here comes the excellent read from G2. Sees the shadow, long angle. Hello, my name is Monacy. Double kill, job is done. Even though this round is not going to be easy to win, we can have a look again at what Monacy does, but basically wins the round on his own. A couple of details here as well. He sees the shadow now, so you can see he maintains like an open angle because he thinks that a mega peak is coming. I cannot believe LXCB actually dies, but it's okay. He makes good on that by no-scoping jail. The job is done. This round is for Monacy. 11 to 11. It's just great work from Monacy. Good cross replacement. The fast scope right behind because he knows he's committed to the fight. There's no running away. So what is our boy Monacy doing now? Ooh, wait, what? That was a irregular miss. Let's see. Oh, that is interesting. I want to look at it again. I think Bit did everything correct in terms of not giving away a shadow advantage. So he ducked down under the lamp. There's still no shadow, still no shadow, still no shadow. And now he decides to peek. Ah, overcorrection. Slight overcorrection from Monacy on that peek. That's a mistake. So this round is in two phases as far as I'm concerned. You have one slight overcorrection and it happened already. That's the one from Monacy. It happened already in the first half. It's like a slight overcorrection. It's really a matter of details, a matter of a few millimeters and you find the kill. But if we're really going to dissect a demo, then I think this is more of a mechanical error than anything else. But now I really think that at this point in time, I think Monacy, I know he's Monacy and I know what he can do. I know the flicks he's capable of. I know that he doesn't really answer to the same rules as the common folks. I get that. But the truth is, I think he mismanaged in his mind how much time and space he had given to Bit when he ran away. And that's why when he re-peaks, Monacy, Bit is in the position that's really hard to counter already. And he gets found immediately. So I think this is a slight mistake from Monacy. I don't think it's going to end up costing them anything. Will it, though? No, I think G2 is gonna be fine, but still, this was a mistake from Monacy here. He poorly assessed what was the risk in re-peaking and the timing of that peak. Ooh, this is probably one of the most criticized round of the grand final, and we'll get into it. So you have, just for context, you have G2 that's in a 3v3, very unaware of what's at stake, and you can see no information towards middle, barely any information here. This is all completely in the dark. This is all in the dark. This too. So G2 is really much operating in complete darkness. Eventually, they're going to make a decision to angle towards the A side. Na'Vi is taking their time as well to make a decision. So it's not a comfortable 3 versus 3 to be in. Absolutely not. And Na'Vi isn't really sure. They wanted to go into A main. They redirect towards elbow now to go into donut. And here I think Monacy makes a vast mistake. Finds the first kill, completely overcommits to the swing, allows LXCB to find him. This should have been 13-11 for G2. Let's have a look again. This should have been 13-11 for G2 because when Monacy finds that kill and sees he's got more information, he takes a risk that's unnecessary. 24 seconds left on the clock. He allows Na'Vi to come back in. This would be my first degree reaction. Gross mistake. Basically allowed Na'Vi to come back into this game. Had he just stayed alive 3v2, I think this would have been G2's 13-11. But if we actually look into detail a little bit more, you will see there's something that is very interesting. Now, right. Oh man, I missed it. I'm gonna try to find the perfect timing to pause for you guys. Here comes the swing with 28 seconds. Monacy comes in. Okay. Very important. Very, very, very important. 27 seconds left. 2 players in Monesi's point of view. The argument and the debate is whether his brain recognized this little sliver of, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know if it's a leg or if it's a, I'm not even sure what this is. I think it might be a leg. I don't think Monesi acknowledged this as being a model. I think Monesi saw 2 players, was unaware of LXCB's position, and here's the logic. He finds the rifle, he finds Bit, he hears the shot from Wonderful. Very, very key. So put yourself in Monesi's mind. It's 27 seconds, you swing, you see 2 players, you see an AWP and a rifle, you kill the rifle, you hear the AWP fire a shot. That gives you a second and a second and a half of safety to change position, because we know the AWP is not an M4. You cannot just... You have to bite your time between bullets, right? My theory is that this is what explains the move from Monesi right here, because he hadn't understood that LXCB was the left, which I think it was his leg, by the way. And now he thought, Wonderful just shot. I'm going to reposition myself behind that box so that I have a next kill that is easy. And I think that's what happened. Now I know it's still a mistake. It was still unnecessary. It was still 32 seconds, or sorry, 24 seconds with a 3 versus 2. So I know it was not needed at all, but I'm just trying to help you, or at least I'm putting my hypothesis out in the world. This is what I think happened. All in all, it still allowed Navi to come back into this game. It should have been 13-11, and I think Monesi is, in this specific context, Monesi is responsible for allowing Navi to play overtime. Clean up on aisle 5. Monesi doesn't see anybody. He hears the flashes coming in from window, so they know that window is compromised. I like how he's searching right now. I like this. I like how he's searching. This was kind of a risk, but also it's Monesi. I don't know if he needed that re-peek. I know we're being annoying, guys. I know we're really looking for details here, but I don't know if he needed that re-peek. When he swings here and he finds a kill, it's 22nd, 3 versus 2, 1 information already gathered. Granted, we don't know where the bomb is. But now, Ime is found. I don't believe this was necessary to re-peek. I know he's Monesi, I know he's fast. He's the Flash. I don't think that was needed. I think at this point in time, he's probably still a little bit flustered from what he did in the last round of regulation. Oh, this model from Ime is so... Yuck. I believe Monesi makes a mistake here. And that's why Navi finagle their way to another round. He might have been, as I say, he might have been a little bit flustered from the previous, not the previous round, but the round of regulation, the last round, where he must have been aware that he cost G2 the round. So no, he's not really needed too much. I like how he's moving around with the first scope in, because he's capable. He's got the mechanical skill to do it. Very good read of the situation right there. Punishing Bit in the 2v2. You have to remember, previous round, Navi worked their way back into a clutch by taking window, so now feels like it's very activated in G2's mind. Monesi's aware of it. We hear the plan from LXCB. Nico is coming in from back. Good work. Not much to say. And here we go to the T side with the window smoke. And a couple of flashes to help his teammates. That flash doesn't help. It's funny because I know the game. So as I get into the round, I forget stuff. And then as the round is happening, it comes back to my memory. Like a tidal wave. Like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy it, shall we, guys? Doesn't need much commentary for now. 1v3, 28 seconds left. 1v2 now. 15 seconds left. This is so sick. This is so sick. This 1v3 is insane. All right. Let's have a look back, because this one is worth talking about. There's a few things that we need to discuss. One is information gathering from Maniac, which is exceptional in clutches. How he is always trying to find an information, always trying to know where is my next opponent. How can I base them into telling me where they are? Two is the disconnect between Navi's 2v1. I really think there's a huge disconnect. Bit and Wonderful don't play off of each other. Three, Wonderful unfortunately has two big misses because he's not stable to take the shot. He's actually moving. And these are the elements that create this incredible clutch, and we can have a look at them now precisely. So you have this little bit of a miss, and when Maniac misses that shot, it should be over, right? This should be done. This is it. 1v3, he's known 30 seconds. Okay, everybody, let's move on to the next round. We're going to have a grand old time. Now, this is where we can be very annoying. We can be very nitpicky if we want to talk about details. Did JL need to put down another Molotov in order for Navi to win this game? Probably not. I don't think it was necessary. I think they had enough guarantees and securities for this round to be won. He elects for coming over and throwing the Molotov. Maniac sees the Molotov. He sees the Molotov. He can create a map in his mind of where is the most likely position of whoever threw that Molotov. And he finds the shot. And the timing of the shot is at the very, very, very last second and finds JL. So I don't think JL needed to do what he did. And he allowed an opening from Maniac, which took him immediately. Like, he took him immediately. 1v2. Okay, what's next? Remember what I told you? Information gathering. Looking behind. Scouting, searching. Where are my opponents? He doesn't know. A lot of jumping to check into the cave angle. Peeking all the angles. Now he shoots and switches immediately to the AK because he thinks that the AWP shot is going to trigger a reaction. That doesn't happen. Quick scan. He knows where Bit is, but he's not. Even though, and this is why Maniac is such a master in these clutches. A lot of people, when they go up that ramp, would be hyper focused on Bit and immediately try and take the duel. Maniac knows in that 1 versus 2, there is a very high probability that Bit entering a fight is going to trigger the reaction of the second CT who's going to come to help him. And that's what Maniac is doing here. He scanned, he located Bit, and now he's thinking, okay, I know where you are. I have 12 seconds. I need to know where Wonderful is. And that's why he's just waiting, scanning always. And now he thinks, okay, I have 10 seconds. I know where Bit is. I have no choice. I have to swing for it. Beautiful shot, honestly. And here comes one of Wonderful's miss. He's got two in this clutch. One of Wonderful's miss right there. Now Maniac knows he doesn't have time to play. He has to plant the bomb immediately. Otherwise, Wonderful's just gonna wait him out. And now he's trapped and he should be dead. White swings. Wonderful isn't ready to fight. He's still in movement. Maniac finds him. Beautiful. One of the greatest clutch of probably 2024, I guess. Considering the time and the moment of the clutch, probably a candidate. But there were a few mistakes from Navi. We gotta be real. Like, Bit and Wonderful didn't play off of each other. Wonderful missed a couple shots. JL put himself at risk unnecessarily. Now Navi's going to win this one. Oh yeah, that's the aggro from Bit. There's not much Maniac can do here. Nobody was really keeping their eyes on this. The timing from Bit is perfect. Maniac is definitely not ready to fight that. And Navi retakes properly. Smoke for short. One flash for his teammates. Malbs is killing the entire world. Maniac just, okay, puts a Molotov towards heaven because why not? And he flashes for Malbs. Malbs takes the flash as an opportunity, finds Wonderful. And that is it. 16-14. How would we summarize what we saw? There's a few lines I think in Fluke concludes. One, this wasn't as bad a map as people make it out to be. There were a couple of very good moments from him, and it's not just mentioning the clutch. I think the first half was pretty clean. Two, he had a 2 to 3 misses that are not really usual for Monesi, like overcorrection. Usually he's pretty stable. He's pretty consistent when finding these shots. So he had a couple of overcorrection, mechanically speaking, that gave his life away. Then you have to give it to Navi for some of the team play and the plan, like the contingency plans they put together and the protocols they put together to take Monesi out of some of these situations. When he's in donut and he gets completely he gets flashed rather. It's like a flash that comes from the moon at this point. Like, there's no way he can see that flash coming. There were a few mistakes in my book. The obvious one is the last round of regulation, 3v2, giving away his life at 24 seconds, unnecessary. Then you move on to the second round of overtime. He's probably still a little bit flustered. He re-peaks against Ime, unnecessary. So there were a few rounds where I think he made the wrong decision. And he got entry twice by AKs. So by his standard, this was not a good map of Counter-Strike from Monesi's standard. I don't think that it was as bad as the scoreline might suggest, and it's not as bad as the worst of what we saw suggest. But still, by his standard, we are below what we're used to. A couple of mechanical fails, a couple of flustered decisions. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing the next game in which Monesi is an entry death against rifles, because that's not something I'm used to see. He's usually so reliable in his entries. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That's that. We've gone through the entire Ancient. What a map of Counter-Strike. This was 30 rounds at the Esports World Cup between Navi and G2. Once again, thank you to SkinClub for powering this video. I will be putting together such content monthly, so you guys can keep your eyes peeled for more analysis. I might just do full-on games. We might just have like themes or players we talk about. This time around, I decided to dive into Counter-Strike and really look into details, and I had a really good time. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and leave a comment, interact. I will be very happy to answer questions. Or if you have any idea of what you would like me to do in the future, please consider the door wide open. And in the meantime, I wish you a very good rest of your day or night, whenever you are and wherever you are.